We established that I'm not good with horror games. Oh no, 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 nope, nope. Nah, not me. But I'm a sucker for investigations, so when I was browsing my backlog, Call of Cthulhu caught my attention. What's the best way to face my fears than by playing them? Released in 2018 and developed by Cyanide Studio, I have to confess that I was a bit surprised. I only ever heard of Cyanide Studio because of the Cycling Manager games, so when I learned that they made Call of Cthulhu, it kinda piqued my interest. Before tackling a game, I often check lists to see and learn a bit more about the missable achievements, and this game has a lot, with 4 endings and 26 missable achievements and plenty of collectibles. It will take me 2 playthroughs to get everything done. So, in order to not bully myself into playing a scary game more than I have to, I decided that every time I finish a chapter, I'll replay it in another save file so I don't get overwhelmed. The game starts with a weird dream sequence inside the cave where, after exploring for a bit, you find some faceless friends hanging around when a police officer interrupts the party. The leader of the group doesn't like it and takes him down, along with us. We wake up in an office and learn that we are some sort of detective, and after picking up the phone, it serves as a tutorial where we can spend character points to level up our character. After spending some points, we get
Thank you for this information, Mr. Pierce. Our files will soon be up to date. And on a related matter,
the person on the phone also tells us that we have been accepting fewer and fewer cases and we need to start accepting more before we lose our license. Thankfully, someone knocks on our door. A man walks in and tells us that his daughter, Sarah Hawkins, is dead. And since she was a famous painter, that's something we already knew. She was accused of murdering her family, including herself, in a fire. However, the father doesn't really believe that story and wants us to uncover the truth. He brings us one of her paintings to analyze so we can determine whether she was mad or still sane. After reading some notes and examining the painting, we decide that we need to go to Warehouse 36 in Darkwater since the painting was supposedly sent from there after her death. We accept the case and head to Darkwater.
Cases.
We arrive in Darkwater by boat with Captain Fitzroy, who asks us what we are doing there. He says that he has documents that could help us with our investigation, and after looking through them, we decide to further investigate the island. We need to get inside Warehouse 36, which we discover it belongs to Charles Hawkins, Sarah Hawkins' husband. We stroll around the island and fail to investigate a whale, getting
The blood is just beginning to coagulate. It died a short time ago. Only a specialist would know what killed it.
This is a good time to explain that your abilities don't always work, and there's a chance that they might miss. So when you upgrade a skill, you are only raising the chance of it working, which is a cool concept, but not one that me as an achievement hunter is thrilled about since there are achievements locked behind skill checks. Our path to the warehouse is being blocked by 2 bootleggers, and since they don't want to let us through, we need to find a way. And our way is by speaking with 2 fishermen and offering them a drink so they can distract the bootleggers.
You're a good guy, you. Follow me.
Inside the warehouse, after opening up a grate, we enter some sort of underground where, after being dosed with toxic gas, we start having a little bad trip. I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. Oh, what is that? Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. False alarm. Oh, god damn! Stupid! Wait. People, bye! Point. After calming down and reaching the other side, we are finally inside Warehouse 36, and after investigating it, we get interrupted by a cop named Bradley. We manage to convince him to work together, and he takes us to the Hawkins mansion.
The Hawkins mansion. Come on, we got some driving to do.
We reach the area around the mansion and the cop agrees to come with us since the caretaker, despite everyone in the Hawkins family being dead, is still taking care of the property. When we try to get inside, a crazy looking guy with an axe shows up, and after some smooth talking, which doesn't work at all, we manage to convince him to help us out so he can get in after the cop tells him that someone stole a painting from the inside.
Okay then. I'll leave the key with you. You could have told me that earlier, Sonny.
With no time to waste, we start investigating the mansion. We discover that the fire wasn't accidental and it was actually arson. We also discover that their son was on sleeping pills because he was having nightmarish visions.
Simon's troubles went beyond family problems. That kid saw something. Something terrified him.
Your mom. Okay, sorry, that was too much. Eventually, we reach a room where some sort of ritual was made, and when we leave it, a door that was previously locked is now open. We enter said room and find a painting with our face in it, which is very creepy. We then get attacked and we need to chase after the person who punched us. However, we lose them, and we find our friend Officer Bradley completely unaware of anyone running around. With that out of the way, we reach an office where we discover that Charles Hawkins was friends with Captain Fitzroy and also with Dr. Cthulhu, who was Sarah Hawkins' therapist. And by completing a puzzle in this office, we get...
Looks like it worked.
And by getting it right, we open a secret passage that leads us to a cave. Inside this cave, we investigate an area where a meeting took place and where Sarah Hawkins was hiding from someone. We go deeper into the caves and reach a place where Bradley says that he won't fit, so we will find another way inside. Eventually, we reach a deeper area of the cave and find other people here doing a ritual. As we keep exploring the caves, we reach a sacrificial table, and at the bottom is another painting of us. And while we examine it, we get attacked once more, and in the struggle, we fall deep into a hole.
I gotta...
When we recover from the fall, we realize that this place is the exact same one that we dreamed of. After leaving the piles of shark guts behind, we sneak around the area, which is filled with cultists, and I didn't get scared at all.
We are ready for the ceremony. What about your...
My heart. Finally leaving that place, we reach another part of the cave where another ritual is taking place, but now Bradley is with us and he decides to use his gun to antagonize the cultists. We have no idea what they are up to, and shoots at one of them, who ends up being Charles Hawkins.
You shouldn't have seen this.
Oh damn! You know he dead. Bonk. After Charles throws Bradley, the case starts to collapse and we make a run for it, but before we can reach the outside, we faint. We wake up in what appears to be a hospital where we get injected with something that makes us pass out again. We wake up once again, but this time Bradley's there along with Dr. Fuller. We got another injection, making us pass out again. And like, at this point, might as well let us sleep. We wake up in a padded cell and when looking through the mirror on the door, we see a patient being carried away. We go back to bed and we have a dream sequence where we must reach the end of the hallway, where Leviathan, for some reason, speaks to us telling us to wake him up. We then wake up again, but this time it was Marie Colden, a local doctor, who's there to help us escape by request of Bradley. We need to escape this place before they keep doing their weird experiments on us, so we start stealth mode. The place is full with guards, so we need a diversion, and while we explore the hospital, we interact with a couple of items that gives us...
Do the cops know what's going on?
We eventually talk with an inmate who agrees to help us by creating a diversion if we get him some sleeping pills. We look around and we give him the pills.
Diversion. Go on now. Go hide yourself. The crows! They're everywhere! Make them go away!
With the inmate creating diversion for us, we just need to wait for the guards to pass so we can sneak around. We reach a room where we see the patient that was in a room across from us earlier, and while speaking with him, we learn that something called the Shambler, something that belonged to Sarah Hawkins, will get him.
Without her, it's no longer possible to save me.
All of a sudden, something picks him up and kills him like he was in season 4 of Stranger Things.
Chrissy, wake up! I don't like this! Chrissy, wake up! I got it.
We start running, but the gas from earlier makes us pass out while we reach for the exit, but thankfully, Bradley was there to help us. We wake up from a nightmare only to hear Bradley and Marie arguing downstairs. After telling them everything we found out while at the asylum, we told them that we met Francis Sanders and that he died. So our next step is to talk to his wife. We reach Sanders' house and we meet Irene, the wife. Inside the house is also Kat, the leader of the bootleggers who we met previously. We speak with Irene after we tell her that we saw her husband right before he died, and we learn that he was petrified and screaming in horror every night ever since he got Sarah's painting. And that's the reason she had him interned in the asylum. He wouldn't stop speaking about the Shambler, and we learn that it's a painting. We start exploring the mansion, and after reading a forbidden book, we get... We reach a wing where several art pieces are stored. In here, there's also a dagger similar to one we saw mentioned in a note. We find the painting of the Shambler, and suddenly the monster crawls out. We sneak around to find the dagger, and after we do, we use it to stab the painting of the monster, forcing it back inside. After taking care of the Shambler, we start hallucinating and we almost chop our arm off, but Kat stops us.
You sure you won't be needing that hand? You're losing it, Detective. At this rate.
She tells us that if we like that dagger so much, we should talk to Drake, the antique dealer of Darkwater, so we can learn more about it. We reach the bookstore where Drake works, and after reading a book, we get...
Holy knowledge.
We keep investigating the bookstore, and after searching everything inside, we discover that Sarah Hawkins hid the book inside the safe. After finding the codes, we open the safe and read the book. For some reason, after interacting with the book, we are now Marie. Marie being the doctor who saved us from the asylum. While we are treating a patient, we notice that Dr. Fuller is speaking with Captain Fitzroy. While discussing a patient's condition with a nurse, we notice that his body is undergoing transformations and that he will die if we don't find a proper treatment. After Fitzroy leaves, Fuller approaches and doesn't believe that the patient is in such dire state. In the end, he ends up giving a small threat that even the nurse is surprised with. After going around the wing and taking care of every patient, we speak with the family of one of them.
We'll wait for her to wake up. We've been here since this morning, so it won't make a difference.
By creating a distraction by turning off the water supply, we enter Dr. Fuller's office. We interact with the model boat, and after solving the puzzle, we get...
Puzzle. I've unlocked something. Patient files. I was right.
We learned that Fuller was conducting experiments on people besides his patients, and Fitzroy was somehow involved. This is where we learned that whatever they were doing was the reason Sarah Hawkins died. After interacting with another hidden item, we get...
To a woman. Why keep it here?
We leave the office and head towards the basement where Fuller is waiting for us. He overpowers us, injecting us with something, and when we get back as Pierce, someone is pointing a gun at us and asking if we read the book. He ends up being Drake, the one that Kat told us about. He tells us that he will help us since he knows the occult better than anyone.
All right. I might need you after all.
Perfect. Let's
We need to go to the hospital to save Marie from Fuller, so that's our next step. We enter the hospital where the major task is to find the doctor. While exploring, we find the last bottle of sleeping pills.
What the... Fuller, too.
And we read the last forbidden book. After reaching the same hospital ward we visited while controlling Marie, we solve a light puzzle where I didn't get scared at all. Okay, where do I need to go? Okay, I'm pretty much running out of light here. Oh hell no! I heard them. Fuck yeah! Bitch. Which takes us to the stairs to the basement. We go down only to enter an endless corridor, and all of a sudden, when we turn around, we see ourselves stuck in a room where we start hallucinating. And one of those hallucinations is Marie telling us that it's too late for her. Eventually, we open the door and see Fuller injecting her dead body with something. And we stop him by, well, killing him. We keep exploring the corridors until we find Sarah Hawkins in a straitjacket. While talking to her, since we read the books of unholy knowledge, we can reply to her in a weird language, and we need to get out of there before Charles finds us. We reach a room when all of a sudden, water starts coming in and we realize that Charles has found us. He attacks us and starts saying that Sarah is far more dangerous than he is, and that no matter where she goes, the cult and the being will always be waiting for her, and all that he wants is to save her. Right before Sarah sticks a pole across his throat and Edward an axe on his back. The following day, we wake up in the mansion where Sarah is talking with Drake. She wants to speak with us alone and says that she doesn't want to go to Boston and instead wants to kill the Wanderer. Wanderer being the Shambler, and since she is stubborn, we agree to help. We talk with Drake, who tells us that in order to help and protect Sarah from the monster, we need to find an amulet that is hidden inside the mansion. So we look around and we find it. We show it to Drake, who confirms that it's the right amulet. While we are talking with Sarah, Bradley comes running saying that the chief of police is there searching for them, so Pierce tells Bradley to take Sarah out of there while he deals with the cops, which ends up putting him in jail. Now in a prison cell, the guards tells us that Irene Sanders committed suicide because of the death of her husband.
Arson. We also found poor widow Sanders lying in her drawing room with a bullet in the head.
After the cop interrogates us about several crimes, we start hallucinating once again, all while the floor keeps flooding, and Leviathan shows up in front of us. By accepting the knowledge to know where Sarah Hawkins is, we get...
Would you like to see her? Where is the Oracle? Is she not the very object of your quest?
We start having visions about where Sarah is, and she is in the caves with Drake, but the Shambler is on the loose. We are now in control of Sarah, and while searching for Drake within the caves, we finally find him. We see Kat locking him and one of her bootleggers so they can serve as bait for the Shambler. We need to conduct a form of ritual to finally banish the monster, and to do that, we need to find 3 glyphs scattered across the cave so he gets weaker. After we activate the 3rd glyph, we rush for the painting to burn it, and when we do so, we do it quickly enough so that the Shambler doesn't kill Drake.
Let's go, Sarah. It's over. Do you hear something?
Despite vanishing the Shambler, Sarah still falls for its control and gets taken away. Back in the cell, we regain control of Edward. The officer still wants us to confess when another officer appears, saying there's problems outside. We start hallucinating again, and we see Leviathan asking us if we are ready to see the world as it is. As we leave the police station in the hallucination, we are now in control of Kat, the bootlegger. As Kat, we discover that the chief of police, the one who was questioning us before, was killed by 2 fishermen, and they dumped his body in one of Kat's warehouses. While interrogating them, we decide to throw a punch and get
Actually, you just gave me an idea.
Kat asks them why would they do it, and they keep refusing to answer, saying that they will know they told us. So we decide to investigate ourselves. Inside the warehouse, while investigating, we hear noises from outside only to see 2 zombie-like fishermen coming our way. And we are now in a Call of Duty Zombies game. We reach outside only to see every fisherman in sight acting like they are in a rave.
Damn it!
Back in control of Pierce, Bradley comes in to release us. He starts having some sort of an attack and tells us that Sarah left with Drake to the whaling station and we need to make the decision to spare him or kill him. We obviously spare the man and get
This. Do it. Kill me.
Enough killing.
Idiot. Ah! Now go. You imbecile.
Finally outside, we start blasting our newly acquired gun, and after shooting 5 fishermen, saving another officer, we get
Thank you. How did you manage to get out of your cell?
After saving the cop, he gives us extra bullets. We then reach Captain Fitzroy's office, and we learn that him, Fuller, and Charles Hawkins ate Leviathan's flesh, and that's the reason everything happened on the island. We head for the whaling station and we find an injured bootlegger who tells us that Kat is hurt and gives us a medkit. As we keep going, we take down more and more fishermen, and eventually we find someone injured and we give him the medkit, getting us.
I must go to the whaling station.
I'll help you get there if you bring me something to fix this wound.
Here, take it.
Oh, thank you. The entrance to the whaling station is behind.
We take down some more zombies and we finally reach the whaling station. Inside we find the last diary, which was one of the collectibles.
Another volume of the Reverend's wife's diary.
We find the key to get inside the real whaling station, but first we need to break the gate. When we do that, we get finally inside the whaling station, we open a chest to get we start having visions of Sarah Hawkins, and after turning a valve, the entire whaling station explodes, making us run for our lives until we get surrounded by the cultist and Captain Fitzroy. He tells us that it's not a coincidence he's there, and he orders the cultists to get us. However, we fall in the water beneath us, where we start hallucinating once again with Leviathan. We reach the shore and enter a cave where we examine a mural on the wall and get
The miraculous catch was a trap. Leviathan wanted to be found.
We reach a painting where we start hallucinating again, this time with Marie, and after talking to her, we get...
I must take you to Sarah Hawkins, our oracle.
As we keep going deeper and deeper into the cave, we start having more visions of Fuller, Sarah Hawkins, and Charles Hawkins before we reach the end of it. We see the cultists surrounding Sarah, and after talking to her, depending on the decisions you took during the playthroughs, you can get different endings. And like I've said, I was doing 2 playthroughs at the same time, so by replying in every instance of conversations with the language you have learned from the Forbidden Books, you can get... By choosing to partake in a ritual, we get... By performing the counter ritual, whatever that means, we get... On the other playthrough, by refusing to participate in a ritual, we get... And by refusing the ritual itself, we finally get... Call of Cthulhu has me a little bit divided. Despite my interest in Lovecraftian stories is not a topic or theme that I'm well versed at, I do think that I'm a bit disappointed because my tiny brain saw that Edward Pierce was a detective, and I immediately thought I was going to be playing La Noire in the middle of a creepy island. The story was a little confusing to me over the course of my 2 playthroughs, but maybe that's purely because I don't know much about the type of story the game is trying to tell. One thing that Call of Cthulhu does well is the eerie atmosphere of Darkwater. However, that atmosphere is often ruined when you look around and you see 2 or more NPCs with the exact same face. The skill check system and character progression system were actually very nice ideas, and the reason I didn't like them is because I'm a silly achievement hunter and they lock achievements behind some. I think they could have been so much more. The game has plenty of ideas, but it feels like the developers either didn't fully think them through or couldn't commit to what they wanted to do with them. The investigation scenes are interesting until you realize that you reach the same conclusions no matter how high or how low your investigation skill is. I understand why the game needs to keep moving forward, but then why have a full RPG stat system if it doesn't really reflect your actions in-game? Meeting Cat when you arrive in Darkwater is completely optional, but the game always treats it as a canon event regardless of your choices, and that also breaks immersion for me. But overall, I did have fun. The Shambler fight at the mansion had me on the edge of my seat, and the light puzzle actually made me think a little. The rest of the puzzles, however, were fairly simple and I just didn't appreciate them at all. Which isn't really what I enjoy when playing as a detective. I mean, you are a detective, I want to solve hard puzzles. Again, overall I had fun, but I just expected much more. If you watch my whole journey, thank you so much, and I hope to see you in the next one.